Hey guys, how are you? I'm back. I'm gonna do a quick little video. Morning to all of yous, and good night to some of yous. It's Friday the 2nd. I hope everybody's in good health. Everybody's all right. I'm gonna do a quick little video, and you guys know I never really do drama videos on my channel. But in this case, I'm gonna do a video that hasn't probably pertained and looked at as some drama, but reality of it is, you know, I'm doing it more because this type of thing can, give a very big misinterpretation about a situation, or in this case, a person like myself, which, I'm not going to stay quiet and let it go down and happen without, uh, you know, clarifying some things and giving my point of view. And of course, a lot of you that may see it be like, well, that's only your point of view, and that's fine. But at least I know I'm man enough to get up here on the camera and speak my word and say whatever I say and explain why, so that at least you see it from my standpoint of whatever I was trying to say. And basically, the video is going to be titled, that Twitter is basically is cancer. It's cancer, full of liars, full of goalpost movers, and full of stalkers, more importantly. Okay? And I'm going to mention some names, but I'm going to mention some names for a reason this time around. I don't really mention names, but I'm going to mention some names because in this situation, I have to. And the reason why is because there's a saying and a term called defamation of character. And that is something that has a really, that is a real fine line. It can have a lot of implications and cause a lot of problems. In some cases, even get people in trouble unjustly, even if they're honest and they didn't really do anything wrong. And I'm a person that I'm going to defend my cause, and I'm going to defend my personality of who I am. And those who know me closely and personally know that I'm pretty genuine. I'm a pretty genuine person. And I don't really, I'm not really fake or hurtful or, or fake with people. Like when I extend my friendship, is a real friendship. I try to be honest and friendly and be really honest with the people around me, I show them love and care and respect for the most, part, to break it down in words, right? So that's why I'm decided to do this, because I'm not going to allow somebody to make my personality as a person be misinterpreted and looked at like I'm something else, or that I'm bad, or that I did something wrong when I know I did not. And so an outlet and a platform that's so open like Twitter is very dangerous. And it's one of those things that, since so many people have access to it, someone can put a picture of you saying something, or you trying to explain something without really explaining the whole conversation, and misconstrued and make you look like you're an asshole, a bad guy, or a phony, or a hypocrite, or a racist, or that you start trouble, or whatever the case may be. So let's get to it. No, enough with the rambling, okay? I'm on Twitter yesterday, right? And I'm having a conversation with a gentleman called Windy City. That's Windy, not Wingy. Windy. Right? And Windy City put up a picture of Horizon Zero Dawn from its PlayStation shared network. Now, mind you, I've had encounters with Windy City before on several occasions, getting in conversations that I've had with other people, where he comes and not necessarily attacks me directly, but he tries to attack me indirectly, using his analogies and comparisons and thoughts and whatever the case may be, verbally. And he's one of those guys that he's what we call a keyboard warrior, right? And what do I mean by keyboard warrior? Well, what I mean by keyboard warrior is they will stay on your threads and he'll keep on texting you back and forth for as long as he fucking wants to, or he feels like it. It could be a day, it could be 2 days, 3 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. He'll just keep doing it until he feels he won the argument or won whatever he was trying to say or whatever the case may be, right? For whatever reason. I guess that's a place that makes Mr. Windy City, right, feel like he has any value or worth. I'm assuming, right? Based on his behavior. Key word. Based on his behavior. So he put it up. So I was like, okay, let me have some fun with this. Because I had 2 points I was trying to point out. And that was my intentions from the very beginning. I posted up a picture of Recore of my time feed from my game when I was playing the game recently, because I recently beat it, because I waited for it to get the update, and then it got an Xbox One patch to 2K, and so I waited. I didn't play it in the beginning state because my son actually played it. He beat it and told me that the game felt incomplete. It had a lot of, little issues like, long loading and some, graphical pop-ups and glitches or whatever. I was like, okay, cool, no problem. So, I put up a pic, really pretty pic, and put a pic of Marius from Rise, kind of looking with his eyes open, like saying, wow, that looks nice. That was my whole intention behind me putting the pics. And when I put up the pic, the 2 points I was trying to point out was, one, that when you put up a picture of a game, right? In this case, Wendy put up Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn has a photo mode, right? A photo mode that allows you to use filters to alter the images. Meaning you can make them look a lot nicer or put effects in it to make it look like a photograph that you took maybe with a real-time camera or a phone, right? To make it look different, to have different illusions, right? You can alter daytime, nighttime, whatever the case may be. And so he put one of the same photo in the nighttime and the daytime, right? Which meant he had used the filter. So I put a picture of Recore, the way the game looks and the state the game looks right now, normally, no photo mode. Because that game doesn't have one. And I'm not saying, because I know the first thing people say, oh, photo modes are awesome. Yeah, they are cool. I'm not saying they're not. But what I was trying to point out was that a game that looks good will look good with a natural screenshot without a photo mode. A photo mode is cool and it's awesome, but it's not really fair because it's a form of cheating, because you can tweak up that photo and make it look better than what it really does to give the illusion to the viewer who's viewing that shot that the game looks even better than what it does. My whole thought process behind that was not even at all in my thoughts saying that Recore was a higher quality game than Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm not stupid. I know that. That's not what I was saying at all. So that was the point behind that, or the logic behind it. Because you have things like, let's say, Gran Turismo, GT Sport, that has real world settings and pictures that you can put the cars that are in polygons, right, on the front of those pictures and make it look like it's a real picture. And people on different sites and gaming groups and on Twitter and everywhere try to put those pictures up to match them to pictures of Forza, where everything was actually running in real-time polygons, right, with real graphics that made it look photorealistic using the real engine, to say that it looked better than Forza when there was an image that is deceiving the audience that looks at the pic. Because a lot of people may not know that that's what that photo mode offers and does. So I've seen this a lot of times. So that's why I did what I did, and trying to make sure And for those who saw it, wouldn't get deceived in case he did use the photo mode filters, which he did, but he only used it for the distance and balancing the camera angle and day and night cycle. Cool. That's fine. I did it using just the regular shot that I took. Okay? So because of this, we ended up getting into a little conversation, and it was fine. Conversation ended. Then I come back and I start seeing, a couple hours later, start seeing people saying other things, saying stupid things, or making snarky remarks like if I was delusional, how dare I compare Record to this, okay? And that was never the point of it, okay? And so they start talking about how, Gears of War is not a better game than Uncharted. And all I said was, well, Gears of War is not just a dude bro shooter, the way you guys are trying to make it seem. Gears of War is a lot more than just a dude bro shooter from the way you play the game, the gameplay mechanics in the actual game that are offered, and the story itself. And I broke it down and I explained why with the story and with the gameplay. And then I said, but Uncharted stemmed from Gears of War 1, number one, because that was their answer from Sony to compete with the success of Gears on the 360 era. And also, it stemmed from games like, Indiana Jones, or not games, but from Tomb Raider, and then Indiana Jones, the concept itself of, the treasure hunter, that goes out and to these pyramids and stuff like that. That was based off a movie that also had games earlier on in the video game cycle, on GameCube and NES, and even the arcade. The first one, I believe, was even on Atari, right? But the point is that I was trying to say that Uncharted is not an original concept. Whether you like the game better than Gears or not, that wasn't the argument, or that wasn't my point. That's fine. The point is it wasn't original. Gears is original. There's nothing like Gears. Okay? Yes, it has ideas from Resident Evil as far as the camera angle, but that's not how the gameplay is or looks, and it's not mimicking Resident Evil, and the world is nothing like Resident Evil. It's its own entity. So it's still different and unique. And that's a conversation you can have a whole 2 hours about, all in and of itself. So, Windy Gaming, I guess, is friends with, xbot448 and with some other people, which I'm not going to mention. I'm just going to mention them too. And so xbot448 comes and tells me, why are you touting Recore if it's a broken game and it really doesn't look that great? And anyway, he just put up a picture. Why are you attacking him? Now, mind you, Xbot did not come into conversation until way later, when other people that were friends or knew him or that weren't part of it, follow him or whatever, were talking in the thread, saying things and putting comments about me and saying all kinds of stuff like, Hebot's delusional, Hebot only cares about Xbox, blah, blah, blah. Saying all kinds of stuff, right? Stalking you for hours. This is like 3 hours later, and I had left and came back and it was still there, okay? And so I'm just like, okay, well, whatever. So I'm just answering all of them one by one. Now, mind you, I'm always by myself. I don't really tag anybody, or any of my friends come in and be like, yo, why are you talking to my boy Hebot like that? Very rare it happens that somebody comes and they'll say something and they'll mention my name, but they don't really do personal attacks at any particular individual because they're attacking me or talking to me. There's like 5 of them or 6 of them talking to me all at once, and I'm trying to follow each thread. I read the thread, I open it from this person, boom, in this case I say Windy City, boom, this is his thread, this is what he said, boom, I answer it. And that's how I do it, one by one. While I'm driving, and I'll press record, and that's the way I do it. Oh, you don't know how to use Twitter? You're dumb. Well, listen, I don't know what you think I'm supposed to do. I'm answering everybody one by one on the thread I see as it comes out, one by one on my end. Plus, it's just Twitter. It's not school where things have to be done perfectly. You follow the best you can the conversation. And if you're confused and tell me, oh, what were you talking about or in reference to, then I'll answer, oh, I was saying this about this and this to kind of put you up to date so you know what I'm talking about or what question or comment I was referring to. And then I told xbot the same way I told, Windy City that the game was broken before maybe, but that now, after the patch of the textures and the lighting and the added content and the core, the new core bots, that the game is actually not broken anymore. The game is actually complete. It feels complete. And I also played it on the X. So not only did I play it with the completed version, I played it with more stability, faster loading, and with the 2K presentation in 1440p, which they thought I was trying to say that Horizon Zero Dawn was in 1440p, which I never said that. I said Horizon was 1880p, and that Rico was 1440p. And again, the whole reasoning for that was I was trying to say Rico is a small game, and it still looks good because a good game with good graphics is going to look good no matter what with a regular screenshot. You don't have to use no filters. And that was it. That was the whole point of it. Then, of course, they take it out because ponies get sensitive and they get upset because they took it as I was attacking Horizon Zero Dawn. And that's how they do it all the time. 90% of the time, that's how Sony fans react. You say something, or you do a contrast and compare, or a indirect comment, trying to use logic, and they take it as a personal attack every time. It never fails. And this is exactly what they did in this case. And then xbot said what he said, and that's how I answered him. I told him, well, the game is not broken. So I don't know if you went back to it and played it again, and or maybe you haven't because you've been playing other stuff and haven't had the time. Whatever it is, I don't care because I'm not here to judge you. That's fine. But then they start saying things like, oh, well, not xbot, but Windy City and some other people, oh, you don't really game, how many games you played or be. I said, listen, video game for me, I've said it time and time again, is a luxury. I have 8 children and a wife, a business, and my wife's grandmother that's disabled, right? Because she's 87 years old, she's elderly and she needs help. And we constantly have to help her. So I spend 90% of my days, Monday through Friday, in a car going back and forth. I do my business out of the car, I work out of my car, and I do my family runs, basically a personal taxi driver for my family on a week, every day. Back and forth, back and forth. I start at 7 in the morning or sometimes 6:30, and I don't get home until 8 o'clock at night. That's my entire day, okay? So I don't have to explain myself, but the point is, there are more important things in life than just sitting there and playing a video game. And family, livelihood, and responsibilities is obviously one of them. And yet, the other person goes, oh yeah, well, I have a family. I have a job. I was like, okay. It's like, well, maybe your job is not as demanding and needs as much from you as maybe mine. And maybe you don't have as many kids as me. Or maybe you don't take care of your wife the way you should be. Because I know that if I spend 15 hours a day playing video games, or 10 hours a day, or 6 hours a day, my wife's going to tell me something. Because she needs my help, or she needs me to do this, or needs me to do that. Which is understandable. So when I sit down and play a game, it's a luxury to me. I make the best of it, enjoy it the best I can, and that's it. I keep it moving. Oh, I beat 31 games last year. Okay, good for you. I beat 5 last month. And the course of the year, I'll probably be maybe 20, maybe 30. Depends. I bought over 100 games last year alone. I have a back catalog that's humongous. But that doesn't mean that you're more of a gamer than me because you were able to sit down and play 31 games and beat them in 1 month. That just means you have more time on your hand and you have obviously were able to sit down, play the games and enjoy and beat them before I did. There's too many variables when it comes to things like that. So, not to keep going too long. xbot starts talking with curse words. And all I said to him was, because Wendy, I guess, is his friend, why are you cursing at me if I'm not talking bad to you or cursing at you? And the reason why this is bothering me, or bothered me the most, is because I have been an avid supporter and follower of xbot448 and his wife, Mel, the next podcast, Coffee's Casuals and Corner Casual and Gamers, for quite some time. I view their stuff, I'll retweet their stuff, and I've always been kind and supportive of them. But Mr. xbot448 has never reciprocated that behavior or those sentiments or those kind gestures to me. Okay? He's never invited me to his podcast, even though we spoke on several occasions on Twitter. I've done videos shouting him out when I did my Mattel figures, 6-inch Halo figures, shouting him out because I knew he was a big Halo fan. He's never invited me to game with him. He never comes in and talks to me in any party chat. He's never sent me any type of nice message. Hey, what's up, Eva? How you doing? Nothing. Right? But he's trying to tell me on Twitter that I'm taking out of control, that I need to chill out, when all I'm doing is texting back. It's not a fight. It's not an argument. It's just texting. Right? And making and alluding like I'm out of control, that I'm just trying to do this problem, this and that. And my point is, if you never have the decency to take the time out to get to know me, xbot448, right? But yet I've always been kind to you, and I've always been nice to you, and to your family, and to your wife, and always been real and cool with you guys, right? Why is it that you think because I'm talking to your friend, that gave you the right to come at me, make it look like I'm an asshole or a dickhead, when that was a conversation between me and your friend or your associate? Because I don't even know if you know the guy in real life. Okay? That's between me and him. It was between two men, and that here we go. You got involved, and some other people got involved. Like y'all had to go there and protect him, or he needed help when he didn't even ask for help. It wasn't that serious. It was a conversation about games and opinions and thoughts. I told him and I explained to him how I felt and broke it down, and all he kept telling me is, I like this, and that's it. He didn't really break it down. Then when he tried to break it down, one, when it was too late, and two, without real, thoughts. Just, because it has better dialogue, or because it has a better premise or scenery. Like, what? That's all subjective. You can like a game because it looks cartoony, and not like a game because it looks photorealistic, and works vice versa. Those weren't factual explanations and thoughts. And that's all it was. We were having a back and forth. Then not only did he start cursing towards me while he's asking the question, I'm still being polite and respectful to him and explaining to him, no, I never attacked Wendy. This is how it started. And he ends up blocking me on Twitter. And then the other people, Windy City being one of them, goes, you're a fucking joke in this community. Nobody fucks with you. You're this, you're that. Not even Xbox dudes. That's why xbot448 blocked you. And I'm like, what? Like, first of all, why did he block me if I didn't do anything to him? That's number one. Second of all, if he blocked me, that's his personal choice. That's fine. I can't force him not to follow me or unblock me. Number three, how are you so quick to pass judgment on me over a stupid thread on Twitter when you never took the time to get to know me for real, when you've been on my friends list, okay, for over a year and a half, maybe two. And all I've ever done has been respectful and genuine with you and your family and your wife and everybody else. Which even my boy Andy McKee follows you guys, and I told him that you guys were good people, and I explained to him, the things that I see on Twitter and not, and yet you still passed judgment on me and blocked me and said things implying like I'm a douchebag or I'm fanboy starting trouble over dumb shit. No, you're not going to do that because that's not true. That's not how I am. And you don't know me from a grain of salt. So you're not going to make my character look one way when you don't even know me or Windy City. Y'all don't know me at all. Y'all think you know me from a fucking podcast debate that I did with someone on Next Gen's channel? No, you don't know a person because of that. That's number one. And if you never took the time out to friend me sincerely and reciprocate the support and on YouTube and Twitter and social media and the love back to me, then why would you be so quick to make it look like I'm bad or I'm a jerk or I'm petty or whatever the case may be? You don't have that right to do that. I mean, you do what you want to do, which you did, but you're not going to get away with that and do it and then make me look like I'm the bad guy. It's not going to happen. No. Sorry. You've been blessed and lucky enough that you have people like Mooch and Crap help you out and let you follow them into the channel, and you've been able to establish your channel and make it bigger because you already were doing your own thing, and they help you network yourself out. Fantastic. And I'm happy for you. That's fine. Okay? I've always been a genuine and kind with Mooch and Crap as well, and they've never invited me, and that's fine because I want people to be real with me and genuine with me. That if they invite me and tell me to do this or do that, they do it from the heart, not because I'm asking them, listen, can I be invited, or I would love to be on your show, and then they never do, right? Like if I'm begging them, I'm never going to do that. It's never going to happen. So, my whole point is, if you hear Windy City say something of me, or try to impress on me, or xbot448, which I'm not saying he does, because he doesn't go around starting with people. He doesn't really do that. I've never seen him do that. Before you get an idea of something of me, come to me and talk to me first. Because I'll clarify whatever needs to be clarified, and I'll give you my point of view. Because that's what real men and real people do. You don't just make something seem that way when it works in your benefit without all the details where nobody can keep track of something. So for me, making this video, I can backlog it. I have it as proof. It's evidence of what happened, my point of view, and you can never change that because I show my face. I don't hide behind pics. I don't hide behind mics. I don't hide behind Twitter handles. I show my face when I speak. I speak to my audience face to face. I always have when I feel I need to, like I'm doing right now. If you actually took out the time and get to know a person, it wouldn't matter to you what he says or thinks about a consort or not, or if he has a preference or not. Because you would know that that person's actually a good person, genuine person. That's it. That's the bottom line. And to be honest with you, my whole concern has to do with K Mega. Because K Mega and me are cool. And I really enjoy and love K Mega's friendship, support, and who he is as a person. He's one of the realest person on anywhere on the Xbox community. Period. Hands down. He has a lot of love. He has a big heart. People attack him all the time, and he doesn't talk about nobody. He doesn't involve anybody. And they still come at him because they don't like what he says and his belief and how he feels. The same way people attack me because they don't like me calling out Sony bullshit, even though I have a PlayStation, I play all their exclusives, I have all their exclusives, and I have a Nintendo, and I have a DS, and I have all types of shit. I have like 9 consoles at home. Okay? And because I call out the bullshit because nobody else really does, especially the Sony fans, like Crap does as well, we get nothing but hate and call us fanboys and that we're corporate slaves and whatever the case may be. So what are you called and what that makes you if all you do is tout and believe in your company, saying that Uncharted is the greatest game you ever played, or Last of Us, or Horizon Zero Dawn, when those are Sony games on PlayStation 4? Just because you don't mention PlayStation's name or Sony's name does not mean you're not being a corporate slave, because everybody knows those games are on the PlayStation console and platform and are their exclusives. So you're preaching one thing, but yet you're reciprocating the same thing you're accusing other people of doing. Don't lie to yourself. Stop fooling yourself. The same way Xbox guys can't go to a PlayStation podcast or website or whatever, or a Facebook group, and be positive and talk good things about Xbox without getting attacked or latch on. But yet you can have PlayStation guys come on Xbox guys podcast or Facebook group or websites, and they'll talk to you. They won't lash out at them, and they won't disrespect them. And I know personally myself, because I was personally attacked on my Facebook, not knowing that I can privatize my stuff, okay, on a certain particular Facebook group with my family. And these were Sony dudes. So for all the people coming in new onto the scene that think, oh, that Xbox guys are the same way, no, they're not. Because even people like Next Gen were victim of these things. You saw that he didn't say something. He said and proved and said numerous times that such and such person said something about somebody else, and said, we can go live, talk to that person live, side by side, and nobody's ever done it, and yet they still made personal memes of his daughter. His beautiful little girl had nothing to fucking do with him. Men take it out with one another, not with family. You're a fucking coward if you do that shit. Period. There's no excuses. You're a goddamn coward. Now, I'm going to end this here because I went long enough. But my message is to Windy City. You said you can destroy me in a debate. All I said to you was, well, if you think and feel you can do that, by all means make it happen. Then you gave me all kinds of excuses. If you were full of excuses, you should have never opened your mouth in the first place. You should have never even suggested it. Don't say stupid things if you can't be a man and back it up. Okay? That's number one. And to xbot448, I have nothing but respect for you and your wife. And you guys put in the work and work hard. I don't take and negate anything from you. But I don't want my problem with you to affect my friendship with K Mega. I love K Mega, and he's a cool cat, and me and him are good friends. And never, ever has he ever disrespected me in any way, shape, or form. He's always talked to me with nothing but utter respect. Whether he disagreed with me or not on whatever I did or said. Same thing with me with him. Okay? But Xbot, I'm very disappointed. And I'm very sad that you've known me all this time and you never really took out the time to friend me and get to know me personally on a personal level. Obviously by choice. That was your choice. I don't have to force you. But it saddens me that you did take the time out to pass judgment on me and then make implications like I'm this person or I'm this way or I'm that way, and then did subliminal messages on Twitter saying things like, oh, I can't accept personal attacks, especially not from Xbox or this and that, when you were never attacked by me or anybody. I never attacked you. And before you go and say a different story and move the goalposts to people like K Mega or Mooch or people that know you, that may know me and follow me, I'm giving my point of view, putting it in video, and where nobody can say that this was this and this was that, and I didn't have nothing to say. I didn't clarify it. I'm clarifying what happened because I'm a grown man. I'm not a child. I'm not a follower. I have my own mind. I do whatever I want. If I choose not to accept the Sony bullshit, it is what it is. If you don't like it, you don't have to agree with me. Okay? That doesn't mean I don't play on the console. I'm not going to accept bullshit. The same way you guys love calling out Xbox and hating on them and then can't even give a real reasoning why you hate on Xbox. It works both ways. It's a double-edged sword. It's the same thing. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I hope my viewers understand where I'm coming from. I will never, hopefully, have to do another video like this again with petty drama with grown men because it's stupid. Grown men shouldn't have to do things like this. But I'm doing this in behalf of my character and being wrongfully presented or represented by other people because of their hate or anger towards me or misjudgment of me as a person. And this is the best way to touch and connect with everybody, through a video, because the whole world can see it. Now, xbot, if you ever want to talk to me and you ever want to hear my side or get to know really what type of person I am, my door's open. My hands are extended. You can. Because I'm not an asshole. I'm not a bad person. I'm not a dick. I really am not. Okay? And you've never really disrespected me before. Until now that you kind of made judgment about me without really understanding the whole logic behind the thread and conversation we had yesterday. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me. I hope you liked the video. I hope you understand where I came from. And I hope you're not offended or hurt or, feel like, I wasted your time. Thank you. See you guys soon.